Hello and welcome to Gaming Chat, the podcast where we invite members of the gaming community and industry to join us to talk about some of their favourite multiplayer games, whilst telling us about themselves and why they enjoy these games so much. I am your host Mike, and joining me today is Pete Beckett of Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. Pete, come and say hello.
Come say hello.
Hey!
It's not like we've done that for a first time or a second time.
It's not. Actually, do you know what? I just thought about something. I'm pretty sure we spoke about this before, and you was going to come on my podcast and you was going to hijack it. So if you wanted to do the intro yourself.
Never. I wouldn't take that away from you, to be honest.
Okay, it's just me then. Hashtag not Kylie Wild.
Yeah, I haven't got it in me to suddenly turn Spanish.
Hola, soy Pedro.
Exactly. I can't. That's more than I know.
And you went to Mexico. Surely you could have said that.
They speak English there. They speak perfect English. Well, in fact, they probably speak it better than me.
Anyway, we are here to talk about Resident Evil Requiem.
9.
But so we're playing it on different versions. So I'm playing it on the Nintendo Switch too. Shout out to Nintendo UK for providing us with the review code for the game. And Pete, you are playing it on
PC. Review code was not supplied by anyone. I bought my own copy.
Okay then. Yes, I
full disclosure.
I am a review fiend.
Yes, you are.
Before we get into it, because of the nature of the game, it is rated 18.
Or R in the US.
And R in the US, so there will be a lot of graphic visuals. Obviously, we will be showing the gameplay alongside of this video as well. So there will be a lot of blood and gore and guts. We will try to keep the actual verbal language to a minimum, but and there are going to be some spoilers, so we will be gradually working up from the beginning of the game up to where we currently are in it, so we will only be providing spoilers up to that point, so there'll be nothing about end of game, end story spoilers or anything like that. But just to let you all know, spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to know about anything about the game, then you've clicked on the wrong video. But if you are interested, then let's get on with it, shall we?
I would also say, go away, play the game, and then come back and listen to it.
Do that as well. Yeah, that's an even better idea.
Yeah, don't go away and never come back.
Yeah, I mean, you can come back after you played the game, surely, and then you want to hear our thoughts on it. But
it's all right, you could reanimate yourself.
You probably don't want to listen to our thoughts by then. You'd already have your own opinions. But anyway.
You do, but maybe you want to hear someone else's opinion to validate your own.
That is also a very good point. So, let's jump into it. Resident Evil 9 or Resident Evil Requiem, however you want to say it. I'm enjoying it. And I will admit, I have not really been a huge fan of the series myself and never really played many games. I mean, I played like the original game back on the PlayStation many moons ago. I did try playing the cloud version of Resident Evil Village on Nintendo Switch. Yeah. So I do want to get back into that on the Switch too. And after playing Requiem, I think I'm willing to jump in and do it, because Requiem does look good on Switch, and better yet, it looks even better on PC. Many people.
So what I've been hearing about it is that the copy on Switch 2 is incredible. Like, it's a really well optimized version of the game. And had it not been for the key card, I might have been inclined to get it.
Yeah.
But, getting key cards not my kind of thing. So if I decide to double dip on it, it's definitely going to be on Switch 2, but I'll probably just digital download it rather than getting the game key card. But like I said, I'm playing it on PC. I did this on the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast this week, where me and Kylie, we spoke about what our different setups are with PC, because your audience, predominantly Nintendo based, so probably wouldn't have know the intricate details of setups with PCs and all that sort of thing, and optimization. Yeah. So I'll try and be as basic as I can with this. So my current setup,
Pete.
I'm trying my best, but I'm trying to not get into the sheer technical aspect of what all of this means. So I'll just throw some numbers and some letters around, and you'll be able to decipher some of it. So I'm currently playing on a NVIDIA RTX 3050 8GB version model. So that means that I've got 8GB of virtual RAM. The recommended for this, I think they said, was around about a 12 gig card, but it's on I think they've set it to like a 2070 or something like that, so it's relatively, that's a very old version of the card. They do recommend Windows 11, but Kylie played it on Windows 10 and had no issues with it. I'm currently on Windows 11 as well. The thing that's bolstering my setup is the 64 gigs of installed DDR4 RAM.
Right.
So that's quite chunky. That's quite a lot, which is helping. So in terms of the PC side of things, in that respect, I've not got a terrible setup. I've not got what they would, what we would call a high-end setup. But I've got a decent one. It runs most of my games on 60 FPS and 1440p graphics. So kind of like what you'd probably be getting on Switch 2 handheld.
Right.
But obviously you'd be getting 4K on docked, which is great for you guys. What I do want to talk about in terms of the PC setup side of things is the benchmark test that it runs when you first start the game up. Now, basically what it does is it configures to your current setup and pretty much sets it as a custom build. So rather than going in and having to manually change everything yourself, so whether or not you want all the, because the card that I've got enables DLSS and ray tracing and all that sort of thing. So it sets it up to a point where it's on a custom setup, and then you can choose whether or not you go on quality mode or performance mode. I opted for performance because I like my frame rate steady and my visuals to look good but not great. I don't care about overly visual stuff. The thing that I will say about this is that benchmark test is the most incredible thing I have ever seen, because it whirs through, takes about a minute to do, maybe a minute and a half, if that. And I have had the most incredible performance. It's been a steady 1440p. It's never dropped down its resolution, and the frame rate I'm getting anywhere between solid 60 or 120 FPS.
Nice.
With no jumps, no staggers, no nothing. Nothing dips below 60 as the lowest. And it is, without a doubt, the most incredibly optimized PC port or PC version I've ever played of any game. And I am stunned.
That is impressive. That really is impressive. Now, I don't know if it's because they're using the RE engine anyway, and it's obviously had a good few years, the engine, so they've made a lot of stunning games with it, to be fair. The Monster Hunter World is on that engine. A lot of the Resident Evil games and Monster Hunter games and stuff like that, they all look absolutely stunning. And the fact that they've got it highly optimized as well, and run it, because obviously your PC is not a 2026 model. It's not the high end, got all the gubbins and everything that you need for a PC these days. I mean, for example, it runs this game absolutely fine, but if it was to run like Call of Duty, whatever it is, the latest one or whatever, it may struggle a little bit.
Oh, it does. Not that I would have Call of Duty Black Ops 7 installed on my PC out of reasons. Mostly because my entire hard drive will be filled up. But to swing it on the same hand, I've run other games that run different engines. So in terms of other games that I've run on this, RE4 Remake also ran on the RE engine. Another game that absolutely run flawlessly. But it did have a couple of little staggering moments here and there.
Right.
In terms of the visual fidelity. The visual fidelity went down a little bit between different areas, and I would get the occasional cutscene where it would drop down to like 30 FPS. Just I thought was a little strange, but probably not something Capcom were very well versed with doing PC versions at that time. Street Fighter 6, which also runs on the RE engine, I often do not have a very occasional stutters where I'm playing. I think because it's quite graphically intensive at times. Despite it being on a 2D plane, it's very weird. I will range anywhere between 60 frames and 32, maybe 30 frames, but it will drop down to about 20 depending on matchmaking as well.
Okay.
So that's what made me buy it on the Switch 2. So I had significantly decent performance across the board. And other games using like Unreal Engine or Unity, it's a mixed bag at best. So Clair Obscur like runs flawlessly, and that's an UE5 game, which I'm surprised about. But I think in terms of the visuals, it takes a little bit of a dip, especially on Steam Deck. But on PC, it's perfectly like it's stable and runs really well, and it's actually like a really weird example of how good the the UE5 engine actually is, because everything else is really poorly optimized. So like I said to Kylie on the show, I was absolutely staggered by how good this port really is, because Monster Hunter Wilds on PC and other platforms doesn't really showcase how good the RE engine is. But I wouldn't say it was specifically made for games like Resident Evil or Pragmata, but it definitely shows its depth in those games. Because I don't know if you played the Pragmata demo on Switch 2.
Yes, I did play it. It wasn't dreadful, but it's not a game I particularly would continue playing. I mean, it looked all right. That's the thing. Obviously, you get the very, very typical was the hair, the hair textures, which always look a bit off. And then also the same again with Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on the Switch too. Same again. It's always the hair. The hair just looks a little bit off.
Yeah, and that's an example of like I think it's UE5 that they use for that, or possibly UE4 actually. But it's a bit of an issue with Unreal Engine itself. But I found that Pragmata on the Switch 2 actually ran really, really well and looked quite decent, like for a Switch 2 game. But I would imagine this just looks absolutely flawless, almost like 1-to-1, like you're playing it on a PS5, an Xbox, or a decently powered PC.
I mean, I have recorded gameplay, and the gameplay that you are watching right now of this game is recorded on a Nintendo Switch 2. The difference is obviously the video itself is only 1080p due to the actual capture card that I have. But if you was to play it on a 4K TV and whatnot, it does look really, really good. It is would be what you would expect on the PS5 and the Xbox, I would say. Obviously,
the only thing I have.
Sorry, I mean, I suppose because another reason why it can look so good is because there's a lot of interior layouts. So it's not like they've got any, too much like depth that they have to, render. So you're not getting like pop-up textures or whatever. You're going through a corridor, then you go into a room, and then it's only building up that room in that one space. So that's probably how they get around with a lot of it and making it, look so good.
They do, but they do also, and this is the same across the entirety of the game. There's obviously very hidden loading sections, like in certain areas you'll go into like through a door, and it'll clearly be. It wouldn't be like a loading screen like you used to get between like on Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3, where it was like, we're going to have the creaking door animation. But you can definitely tell there's a slight bit of rendering in the background just to get enemy placement in the right area, depending on what you're doing. But that still doesn't mean that it's not fantastic at what it's doing. Like you're right with the depth perception because it's all indoor environments, but they're all incredibly well
detailed,
well designed, well detailed. Like, so the areas that are lit up are really well lit up, and the areas that are supposed to be dark, dingy, and dim are very much that way. And you'll get the occasional enemy, and we'll talk more about this in that section, that will go to turn lights on or off, and it's very interesting how that sort of works as well.
Oh, yes. Well, let's actually get into the game itself then. So let's talk story and gameplay. And obviously that's what people really want to know. I mean, if they want to know about, how well it runs and, how good it looks, well, that's what Digital Foundry's for. So.
I'm taking their job, mate. No, I'm not.
Oh my God!
Don't hold me to that, please. I am not Digital Foundry. I'm not nearly technical enough.
So yes, right. So let's talk story. As far as I know, I mean, I don't know whether it's a continuation on from Village or whether it's a separate story, separate universe or whatever. I mean, I don't really know how the Resident Evil games work in terms of story. Do they follow?
This is a really weird situation when it comes to the Resident Evil's timeline and mythology. This one is set in technically current day, I would say.
Yeah.
Just a few months ahead of us. I think it's like August, wasn't it, or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're in the current day. Most of the games technically happen around about the time period in which they are released. So there's big time jumps, there's big gaps and stuff like that. So, for instance, Resident Evil 5, I think, did actually happen in 2008 or 2009 when it was released.
Right.
Resident Evil 4 was another one where it happens at the same time that it was released. So you'll have these occasional gaps going on. This one, I think, is a direct sequel to the Revelations games and Resident Evil 4 to some degree, and also Resident Evil 6, but nobody likes to think about Resident Evil 6. In terms of how the mythology works, we got Chris's story sort of in 7 and 8.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say his story's done for sure, but they're definitely going down the route of let's focus on Leon for this one.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been a playable character since 6 and not a main protagonist character since 4.
Right.
Yeah. But the one of the other main characters in this, Grace, is a brand new character for this series. Although she is connected to a character who you have seen, obviously her mum, Alicia. She is actually a playable character from Resident Evil Outbreak series.
Okay.
So there's weird hints towards all the larger mythology and all that sort of thing, and the way that the story works out from what I've seen of it so far, obviously, is it harkens back very much to Resident Evil 2. Okay. And the original timeline, let's say.
Right. That's generally good to know, especially for me who's not clued up on Resident Evil lore at all. Okay. So we're getting two very, very different perspectives here, because obviously me as playing Resident Evil properly full on for the first time in God knows how long, and then you as somebody who has played I'm guessing every other game.
Yeah, I started out very, very early. My earliest memory of Resident Evil is having the director's cut of the first game, playing through the very first section of it and getting too scared to carry on playing it. Mind you, I was only 9.
playing a game that is very clearly for adults.
Yeah, that first zombie always freaked me out, and I was always terrible at the game. But eventually, I got to the point where I could play it and enjoy it. And it's not my favourite game in the series, but there are other games that came later on that I have massive respect for and have a huge amount of love for. Resident Evil 4 is probably one of my favourites in the series. I mean, it's kind of a popular opinion really to say, but that game really resonated with me when I rented it from Blockbuster, then went and bought a copy of it on the GameCube, added a copy of it on the PS2.
I would have loved to have played that on the GameCube, but with the chainsaw peripheral. That would have been awesome. Or was that on the...
No, the chainsaw peripheral was a GameCube controller.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I have been to a tournament and seen someone competing at Smash Bros. Playing that with that chainsaw controller, which is utterly hilarious.
And then when he lost, he used it on the... on the opponent.
Oh, that's where all the blood come from. Oh, cool. Let's change that memory for me. Core memory has been destroyed.
Oh no!
No. So when it comes to the Resident Evil series, big fan of it. I remember Resident Evil 5 coming out and playing the absolute living hell out of that game. I played it 4 times. Played it single player once by myself. Played it multiplayer with a friend over a weekend. Literally, he'd come back from uni, his parents were away. I took my 360 round and went, let's play Resident Evil 5, and we literally stayed up all night and completed it in one session. It was that's about eight odd hours.
Wow.
It was amazing though. It was good fun. 6 is the only game in the series I haven't actually played.
Right.
I've watched it, but I didn't like the look of the game. It was sort of around about that time when Capcom were going down a very weird route when it came to Resident Evil.
It did get a demo, didn't it, on the Nintendo Switch? Because I'm pretty sure I played the demo for 6.
You probably have, yeah. So
I think 5 and 6, because they came out on the Switch relatively the same time, because they were releasing all the games. And
they were, yeah.
5 and 6, and I'm pretty sure I played them. Is that the one where it's kind of starts with the World Health Organization or something? They're in
think so.
Middle Eastern country or Africa or something.
Oh no, so that's 5. That's where Chris and Sheva are running through Africa, and they're trying to hunt down Tricell, which is an offshoot company of Umbrella.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I won't get into the spoilers of that one because it's well worth playing, and it'll probably get remade at some point anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if 2's been remade, 3's been remade,
4's been remade,
then 5 is probably next on the list.
Yeah, even though people were also 1's been remade because of the GameCube.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, a fantastic version of the original game, by the way, because it adds so many new things to it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the lore, yeah, I'm very much up to scratch with pretty much whatever else goes on, apart from what most of the stuff with 7 and 8, because I didn't get through 7, and I own 8 and never played it, which is weird because I picked it up. This is one of those things. Game was one of those weird things where they started shutting down shops, and I picked it up for $5, and that requires me booting up my PS5, and I can't be bothered to do that.
I mean, have you even taken it out of the package yet? Because I know that you had the PS5, it was just boxed up for a long time.
Oh, it is currently unboxed because I have played it since it was boxed up, but that was because I was getting this room decorated and needed to pack it away and just couldn't be bothered to unpack it.
For the sake of asking, what did you play on your PS5, Pete? What made you unbox it? Was it Netflix or YouTube?
It wasn't, because I have that on the front room TV. That's fine, and every other device. What was it? I think it was a Yakuza game. Yes,
gotcha.
It was. Yes, it was. It was last year. It was like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that would do it.
Oh, and then I played the Marvel Tokon demo on it, so for beta.
Well, you'd already unboxed it by then, so...
No, that was for that.
It was for that. And then played Yakuza afterwards. So, speaking of story, let's get into it. Let's get into the story of Resident Evil Requiem. So, talk us through it, Pete.
So, basically, Grace Ashcroft is a member of the FBI, and she has been tasked with, and I'm going to go into as little spoilers with this as we can because I don't want to ruin the main crux of the story.
I think we can cover literally like the first 5 minutes of the game, so like the prologue.
Yeah. So Grace Ashcroft, FBI analyst, doesn't really leave her office at all because she's pretty much a desk jockey, let's call her. She is tasked by her boss to go to the Wrenwood Hotel to go and investigate a series of murders that have occurred, which may or may not have implications to do with her past, specifically the murder of her mother, Alicia. At the same time, Leon S. Kennedy, who is working for a branch of the government called the DCS or something, I don't know, whatever it is. It's basically a bioterrorism unit was sort of similar to the BSAA from Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6, but I think it's under the control of the president. He is investigating the same series of murders, but probably has a little bit more information than Grace because he seems to be tailing Victor and knows exactly who Victor is, whereas Grace has no idea who Victor is until she is apprehended by him in the Wrenwood Hotel. And that's as far as we'll go with the story.
Yeah. So, now, we've got our characters and our antagonist and a general idea of what is going on, and we will lean more into the why probably a little bit later as we go more and more into spoiler territory. So let's talk gameplay. Now, we do have dual protagonists and they do play very, very different from one another. Well, in the case of one is very, very more like your old school Resident Evil, where you got to be very, very careful with your resources, like resource management. You're very, very limited to what you can carry, and this is Grace, so it's a bit more survivalist. And then you have Leon, who's a bit more of your, okay, now it's time to ramp things up, you're armed and you're ready to go, the zombies are no match for you kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. So this is very much harkens back to the two very different styles of Resident Evil games that we've had over the 30 years history of the series. Grace is very much of the tank control, obviously without it being proper tank controls like they were back in the day, but like you said, low resources, have to think very wisely about your next move, plotting, whether or not you're going to take down every enemy because you might not have the ammo for it or the health. Herbs are in very slim supply, ammo is in very slim supply, enemies are tough, and a lot of what you have to do is all puzzle based. Leon's harkens back to the change in the series that was had from Resident Evil 4, where it becomes very much action heavy. Back in 4, 5, 6 and the like, there was puzzles, there still was, it just wasn't quite the same. So there was a lot more emphasis on, a bit more resources to sort of help you along. They were a little bit easier in that respect. They were still tough games, but they'd probably give you more opportunities to get more herbs, to get more healing items such as first aid sprays, being able to combine multiple herbs. I mean, that was something you could do back in the original games as well, but they had different classes of herbs, like the red herb, the yellow herb, and things like that. So we've got systems in this game that are sort of similar to that, but definitely an advancement on that series of games. But yeah, you have a lot of action commands, so if you can take down an enemy, you can then melee them, you can use your additional weapon, which used to be a knife, now is basically an axe. Because, my god, what the hell? He's upgraded. And I said this to Kylie. I also said this to someone at work today. It definitely feels like the Leon sections are very much a cathartic release after the slow, methodical lead up with Grace and scaring the hell out of you, basically, and keeping you on edge. It's like, now release all of that
and
into
now it's my
blasting.
turn.
Yeah, basically, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, that has pretty much been my experience. Now, with both characters, you do have the option for either character to change their camera angle. So the game, by default, Grace is in a first person's perspective and Leon is in a third person's perspective. But you can change the perspective for either character, so they can be first or third. And I do quite like, having that option available. So, when I was playing it in third person, it didn't seem as scary. But as soon as I went into first person, oh my word, I was literally jumping at every single scare going. It's like, oh, there's this big monster all of a sudden in your face. Because when it's in first person, you are much more immersed in the game itself. It's like, okay, what's happening to me? Whereas when you get a third person character on the screen, it's like, okay, well, you feel a bit detached from it all. So it's like, I'm still safe. I'm in my room. I'm in the lounge and I'm playing this game. Oh, that's supposed to scare me. Okay, fine, fair enough. But like when playing it in first person and like in the very, very beginning of the game, so, well, within the first hour, I think it's probably best said, when you find the very first like big boss kind of thing, which is like a giant lady that's been extremely deformed, and we are not talking Lady Dimitrescu signs of deformed. No, this is actually grotesque and
and also taller as well. Yes. By the way,
you do not want her stepping on you.
No, plows through ceilings, doors, climbs up into the ceiling, and makes herself scarce until a certain point. Gets hurt by light as well, which is was very strange. But then something happens and gets a bit deformed, and then it manages to regenerate it at some point as well, which was it was not a pretty sight, let's say.
No.
You wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley or a dark hallway.
Absolutely not. And you do frequently in this game.
Oh God. So when we talk major spoilers in terms of that first section, oh my God, we'll get into it. I'm going to put a pin in that for now.
And then, so like we got the first person perspective, or you can change it, but like in Grace's story, basically, because obviously we've got two different stories happening at the same time. So you got Grace's story, which is very, very like horror survival, and then you are, like you said, you got to be very, very careful with your resources. You may not have enough to, you can just use willy-nilly. I've found it at the moment that I've never really ran out of resources, but then I don't go around taking on absolutely every single enemy if I can help it, just in case. It's like, if there's like a single enemy on its own, it's like, maybe I can just get around it instead. And then like the flip side to that is when you're playing as Leon, it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to, gung-ho, let's do this sort of thing. And then it's like, okay, if I run out of bullets, I've still got my axe.
Yeah. Well, in the second section, in the second major area, let's say, because obviously you have the first section, which is basically a prologue to each character.
Which is the Wrenwood Hotel.
The Wrenwood Hotel, yeah. That second section, that first big section with Grace, I ran out of nearly everything. And then in the second section, the same thing. I ran out of everything. The one thing that this does do in terms of a system, and I'm not sure if this is applicable to other Resident Evil games. I'm sure it probably is, but there is a crafting system in this game.
There is, yes. You can combine various items together, and if you find a certain object, I'm not exactly going to say what, you can then take it to a certain place, and then you got a little puzzle that you got to do, and then you can unlock more recipes that you can create, craft more items.
Yeah, we'll talk about that obviously when we get to that section, but I found the crafting system quite robust, and actually it's quite decent. It's not like it's not going to blow your mind at how good it is or how bad it is. It's sufficient, but it serves a purpose, and actually I quite like it. It's helped me out in several sections where I've run out of bullets or I've needed something to take down a major enemy. And we'll get to those when we come to that.
That very, very shortly as well.
Yeah,
we'll get to that because we've already been speaking at length for about 35 minutes, and I think if you're still here and you really want to know, I think our watershed time is, it's now. So let's jump into spoilers. Let's do it. Let's talk spoilers.
Yeah, do not proceed ahead if you do not know what's coming. You've been warned.
Multiple times now.
Several times, yeah, but this is your final warning. If you're still with us, then you're a good one. But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. So, obviously, like with Leon, he's segments of the game are a lot more action-packed. It's a lot more, go in, defeat enemies. And I will admit, not the first section with him, but the second section when you're actually in the hotel. And I got attacked by the doctor with a chainsaw. And I managed to take him out. Not a problem. Bum, bum, bum. He dropped down, and then the chainsaw was spinning on the floor, and I caught myself. And then another enemy picked it up. And then at one point, I got attacked by an enemy, and there was an enemy behind him with the chainsaw. It went through them and through me.
Nice.
I died.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't die to that, luckily.
I've died a number of times in this game, but then...
Sure.
Obviously, the quick save, not the quick save, but the auto saves, like go back to the last checkpoint kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're quite often, so it's not really too much of a problem.
Yeah. So luckily in that section, I didn't actually die, but I had, I would say, a similar incident, except slightly different. So the chainsaw person got killed. Yeah. They do. The chainsaw then starts spinning around on the floor. I got hit by it a good couple of times because I didn't realise. I was like,
what?
The game's just going to let me walk over this, right? No, it's not. No, it's an active chainsaw. Of course it's not. That then got picked up by someone, so I then went, oh, I know what to do in this situation. Let's take his knees out because this will be fun. Because one of the things that you can do, obviously, is you can down them so that you can do a melee attack. In this instance, it didn't let me do a melee attack because I took both of these out. He went down onto the floor and shoots along the floor with the chainsaw still in his hand.
Yes.
And it was so entertaining. I had to pause it, and I did have a good chuckle to myself about it.
Oh, that was a brilliant moment. It
was fantastic. But yeah, it was the great thing is that I really enjoy about certain aspects with this game is that it's an advancement on the typical zombies that you would get from like the original series of games,
which was very slow, very sluggish. In this one, they're a bit more active.
Yeah, but they're very much akin to what 4, 5, and 6 were like with the Los Plagas and the I can't remember what. Oh, and the Ouroboros monsters, let's say, where they don't have personalities, let's say, kind of in those games, but this one they do.
Yes.
They have actually retained their personalities from when they were turned.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely get into this in like the next big section, but they all have jobs and they're all continuing to do their jobs.
Yes.
It's like, very, very weird.
Echoes, isn't it? Like echoes of memory, and it's like, okay, this is stuck in a monotonous kind of like vibe.
Yeah, and this definitely becomes a lot more prevalent in Grace's section, I would say.
Yeah.
In the next big area, but I think that is such an interesting, like, unique mechanic that they've added into there, because it adds these different layers to enemies that you wouldn't expect and you've not seen before in a Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's horrible.
Some of them you even feel bad about killing.
There were a couple I did.
Some of them go, damn you.
Yeah.
What did I do to you?
So the second area where Grace is in the hospital.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens in the first section is you get so you start in the Redwood Hotel. Grace gets abducted and then put into like the upper level of this hospital. She then gets attacked by the lady. Now, the lady is the big horrible thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And she's chasing you around, but you need to find a fuse to get through the door. That section where you go into that horribly lit room.
Yep.
Where you get your. You don't get a flashlight, you get a lighter, and you can't go into that room to start because it says too dark to see. Yes. So I was like, okay, there's going to be something horrible in here. I already know this. So now I've got to go and find something to light the way. When you go to open that door and it tears through and just absolutely rips someone to shreds, I was like, oh my God.
Yep, I need to change my trousers.
Yeah, honestly, there aren't many occasions or many situations where horror movies or horror like games have really got me, but there's been several times in this game where I've been like, ooh, oh my God.
I think it's because it's one of these games that you're just really invested in. I'm also similar. I mean, it's very, very hard when watching films or whatever for like a jump scare to like really catch me off guard. But like Layers of Fear, the first one was probably one of the first games that really, really, it's like, oh, do I really want to continue? Do I really want to continue? Because it's like it's just creeping me the hell out now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't normally affect me much in video games except for like Layers of Fear. And then this one, like almost every jump scare has hit its mark, I will say.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The big section with the lady when you first see her, when she jumps through the ceiling in that section as well and jumps down and you're like, oh my God, no. And then you've then got that little door that you cannot get through because it's blocked off by something after you get like the tool to get the fuse, and then tears through there, and I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, I knew it was coming, but it still got me.
Still got you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like the level design is like incredibly well done in this game. You know something's going to happen with each of those sections, but you just don't know when, so it keeps you on this perpetual like edge of your seat moment with Grace's sections that are like superb. And I said this to Kylie on the show this week when we were talking about it. She wasn't a big fan of it,
right?
But I really like the fact that Grace is constantly like on edge, and her audible cues of like breathing heavily and being quite paranoid and scared, I think is an incredibly cool touch, and I love it. Like, because it makes me feel tense and on edge at the same time. Yes.
I mean, obviously she's a very, very much an introvert kind of character, as we see in the beginning, like she's an analyst for the FBI. She's not, particular like field agent that goes out, hardened field agent, professional, proper field agent. I mean, like when she goes up to the hotel in the beginning, it's like talking to the police officer and the police officer says, you can't be here. And it's like,
doesn't even get her badge out and can't barely show it.
Hang on a second. FBI here. And then
like even the
think, are you really?
Yeah, even the police officer looks at her and goes, what the hell?
you sure, love? You didn't just get this from the 99-cent store, did you?
Are you sure about that?
But she's like constantly on edge, and rightly so throughout the game, because obviously the things just want to kill you all the time, and you are very, very limited to what you can use. I mean, you do get, as we're moving into spoiler territory here, Requiem, which is a very, very powerful gun, which is then given to Grace at some point in the game.
Yeah, so this is after Leon's section in the hospital where you're going to do something. You're chasing after Victor, and Victor manages to pin Leon down and separate the two of them after they've just met up.
Yes.
They then get separated. Leon gives her the Requiem, and he then gets captured by Victor. So you go into this next big section with Grace having this weapon, but there's one bullet.
Yeah.
So so
you
cool.
You can craft more, but you do have to find a special particular material in order to do so. But when you do it, oh word.
Oh, I didn't know about it until I went and got the lockpicks in that next section, and I went, rare metal. I was like, what the hell is this rare metal for? And then it came up in the crafting menu, and I went,
hello!
Oh, hello. I'm having a bit of that, thank you. I know what I'm using on. I know what enemy I'm going to use this on. Thank you very much.
Do you know what? Funny enough, in that, well, like, we're moving on now, so obviously more spoilers. We got the big guy that follows Grace around.
You mean Chunk?
Chunk, yes. So the one who's always hungry and eats all the other zombies. He, Big Chungus.
Yeah, Big Chungus.
Apparently, right, now I avoided him the whole time. Now, obviously, you can attack him, you can kill him. And it wasn't until I saw a video from IGN earlier on my feed, after getting through that section, is you actually use the injector thing.
Yep.
On him 3 times, and it will kill him.
Oh, it's free.
3 times.
I only used 1. So I decided to go down the route of, I'm going to use it first time. So you'll probably know the room that I'm thinking about. So you go into the East Wing. Yes. And go through the door right in front of you where like the crazy people are, with the one with the blood pack. Yeah. On whatever you call it, I can't remember what they call it.
Oh, well, the stand thing that they take around.
Yeah. And then the cleaning lady, as well. So got through there. He walked past the door. I injected him, and then he gets stuck in the door because he tries to come after you. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Head right there. Oh, 4 shots with the Requiem, and he's done.
No.
After that one thing, but I was like, I've burned all of my bullets using like for the Requiem on this enemy, but it was worth it.
I wish I could go back now and take him out, but I was just like, no, I'm going to avoid him. It just completely. I just blanked it. It's like, oh, this is a big guy. Am I going to be able to kill him? I don't want to waste my bullets, and I think because I was recording at the time as well, obviously it would look great if I'd been successful, but if on the off chance that I just wasted all my bullets, I didn't want to go into the middle of a recording and go, oh, quick load, get back into it.
Yeah, that's fair. And I would say it's pretty cool what you see, but you would have seen, you'd then see it in Leon's section next.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like you haven't missed much.
No.
But it was, when I saw it, I was like, this is pretty damn cool, actually, how it goes down.
Yeah. Nice.
It's so cool. But how many times did you get freaked out by the chef?
I think the first couple of times I got freaked out by the chef, and then I kind of just let him do his own thing. Once I realised that he has a set pattern basically and goes round, and then I think the hardest part was like going through the kitchen the first time. And he's from one point to another, and then it's like he stops and it's like, oh, do I keep moving now or not?
Yeah, because I didn't realise at the time, but you actually have to get that trolley to move. Like, you have to get him to move the trolley to start before it becomes active to, like, move it yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought I did this wrong and I'm about to get murdered. And I was like, oh, I can move the trolley now. Cool. Awesome. But then, like, did that and I was like, okay, I'm safe. He's going to stay in the kitchen. And then the few times I started going back, I was like, he's moving around that whole entire section now. Brilliant. And then got to another point where obviously like a checkpoint had happened where you'd grabbed enough resources or you'd done a little bit of the puzzle that you need to do. Yeah. And then he's in the dining room and I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, the tightest little area that you can go through and you're making me walk past him chopping up bits on the table. Yes. Brilliant. Thanks for that. So, yeah, it's... The enemy design is incredible, but the amount of times I got killed by the cleaning lady, I am so annoyed by. Like I've seen the animation of her scratching my face is horrific.
I missed out on that. I never got killed by the cleaning lady. Is that the one that's in the toilets? Or there's another one?
No, there's a couple of them.
Down on her hands and knees.
Yeah, it's that. So what I actually found out about that one is if you make a mess, she moves around that entire section trying to clean up as much as possible. So if you don't kill anyone, she stays in one area. But if you kill lots, she moves, and it is not fun. Oh, it's not fun at all.
Oh, nice. I managed to avoid her for the most part, and then I think I just killed her at some point. It came to I had okay, I've got enough bullets now, and these guys just keep getting in the way. And it's either I got to go up against Big Chungus, who's chasing me through the corridors, or I've got to clear this room out. So eventually I went, okay, I'm going to clear out the room because I wasn't using my brain then to think maybe I could just kill the big guy.
Yeah, well, you can, but obviously that's fine. If you didn't kill him, then he still goes down anyway because Leon takes him down. But I mean, the fact that you've managed to avoid him is pretty good.
Yeah, I try. I'm a survivalist, which means I'm a chicken shit.
Whereas I decided to go a bit more head on, although that section took me a long time because the amount of times that I went into the West Wing, I went into the West Wing, and then the chef is walking past the door, and I'm like, I'm low on resources, I'm low on health. Shit, I'm moving backwards, and then you go out of the door, and I'm like, compose yourself, and you go back through, and it starts the animation again. Oh, god damn it!
I learned what to do when I went into the West Wing is as he comes down, you just stand in that corridor with the doors open, so you're still technically in the main foyer, and then you can see him walk past, and it's like, okay, this is my turn.
I figured that out eventually. I was like, once you close the door, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the hidden loading animations.
Yes.
Like closing of the door means that it's like a whole new section basically, and it's very weird, but some of the puzzles in that section are so obscure though. Like I needed a bit of help with them. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to admit that I did look up a bit of a guide with some of them because I was like, I know something, but I don't know the map layout to be able to get around certain parts of this. Yes. And it was weird. Some of it's explained through, obviously, all of it's explained through notes, but I couldn't make two of some of the notes. And this goes to show I'm very terrible at this kind of game.
That came along more when trying to get out of the building, you need to get the quartz things.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a number of machines, and there's another thing that I did try, and it was in the CEO's office. I think it's when you go to the CEO's office or the lead researcher's office. It's the lead researcher's office where you finally, you first start actually playing around with these machines, and you finally get the clues. In photos there, but some of them is okay, well here's the whole answer, now you got to put it on, you got to find out which room it is and then put it in, and then there's another one where it's okay, it's covering 2 and then there's another 2 somewhere, and one of the things I didn't do until trying to get the third one, and it's actually the second one that I had to get, is in one room there's a notepad that's only been and there was a pencil in the other room. The first time I went round there, I couldn't pick it up because I didn't have the space in my inventory.
Oh yeah, of course.
After coming back again, it's okay, the pencil again. Oh, you can't add it to the inventory. It's I thought I could use it as a weapon or something because you got the makeshift knife. Stab that into someone's neck.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thought that. I carried that pencil around for ages thinking it was a makeshift weapon. And I opened that notebook and I was like, there's got to be some relevance to the pencil and this. And I'm like, I figured it out after a little bit. And the amount of times that I was trying to go past and I went so low on health just going back to that room after I had the idiot moment of going, oh yeah, the pencil's got to be used for this notebook. One donut.
It took me a while to
finally figured that part.
Fortunately, I didn't pick it up. I just left it until the last minute. It's okay, well, there's another machine in this room that I got to go in, and then thought, okay, we've got a pencil and there's a notebook, and then I just thought about I remember in such and such a film where they're scribbling on the notebook and they had the etching appears. And it's maybe I got to do that. Okay, that's what I got to do. But I did have a blonde moment at the beginning. It's like, oh, is this a makeshift weapon? It's like, oh, but I can't use it, and I've already got a makeshift knife, so I'll just keep that instead.
Yeah, the where you have to go to like the parking garage to go and get the organs as well.
Yeah.
I knew that, like, as soon as I saw the body in the east wing, I was like, I know there's going to be something that I have to do with that. So that one I'd figured out pretty early.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know where to get them from. So I started exploring everywhere, and obviously that's when Big Chungus comes after you.
Yes.
As well. And you get like another enemy that's coming after you. It's massive and ridiculous.
Like the bulldozer machine.
Oh yeah, it got really close to me. I was like, "What do I do with this?" And I went, "Of course, there's a bloody piece of glass there. It's the only visible area that you can take him down. Yeah, of course you're going to have to shoot him.
Shoot him. I mean, there's even bullets there to make sure that you know.
I know. I figured it out as it got closer and closer. I was like, oh no.
Afterwards, I'd already had enough bullets, but I couldn't pick them up for some reason. And then I go over the other side, and then I couldn't go back again to pick up them bullets because I'd made space by then. It's like, oh no, so they're just still there. I can't get them.
Yeah, I've had a couple of moments in this game where I've gone to go and grab something.
Yep.
My backpack is full. And if you go to discard something out of your backpack to make space for it, it's gone forever. Yeah. So I remember one of the blood packs that I got, I was like, oh, this will come in really, really handy. And I was like, so I picked it up, but I got rid of something that was like a lot more necessary. I was like, no, now I can't see it again ever. And it's such a minimal thing. It was scraps, and I was like, the scraps are perfect. I need the scraps. So I reloaded the save and went, I'm not doing that again.
I mean, obviously the blood packs. Now I thought it because there's like some items require blood in order to craft them. Like the
infected blood specifically.
Yeah, infected blood. And it's like 130 out of something for a special particular item. It's like, but I can only carry 100. How am I supposed to carry more? Oh, but if I have a blood pack, well then does it work that way? No.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You have to get a manual, which then...
you have to upgrade it.
Then it goes up to 150. So there was me thinking, oh, I've got this blood pack, but I can't do anything with it. Okay, well then I'll just have to, oh no, it's gone. Where's it gone? And it's like, I've stuck the rest of it in the injector thing. It's like, okay, then fine, fair enough. But
annoyingly, I kind of wish I would have upgraded that now, because I did various other things at the time. I upgraded my backpack. Yeah. So I've now got 12 slots instead of the 8 you would have originally. Yes. But there is also another upgrade that you can get, like, just it's given to you at some point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've made sure to get the additional upgrade with the antique coins.
Yes.
But I also got a full health reboost as another additional boost, and I did something else as well, but I didn't get the upgrade to the blood thing. Right. So now I can only work on 100, which is kind of annoying me, because now I'm like, I should have got it, because now I know like 130 it would be perfect, or 150 would be perfect. But nope.
No.
Hey ho, whatever.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, and I shall leave it at that.
Okay. I mean, I'm guessing you'll probably get given an upgrade to it at some point through the game.
Not so much that you get given an upgrade, but obviously, because of the way that the map is laid out, and obviously, opening the door and all that, you have to go back through that section anyway, so you might still have a chance to...
Okay, that's cool then. I'll bear that in mind. I'm keeping my antique coins for that reason.
No worries.
Awesome.
Okay, so as we've gone on for well over an hour now, this has gone on a lot longer than I thought it would. We've got so much to talk about.
We have. So for now, shall we just talk about the final Leon section before that we can officially talk about, let's say, because not through embargo reasons, it's just the fact that you're more further on than I am, and let's not talk about going beyond the hull.
No, exactly, because obviously we want to talk about our general thoughts on the game so far, and we don't really want to go into too much spoiler territory, end of game stuff, because I'm not at the end of the game yet, but
neither am I.
Further on than you are, so we will avoid that kind of stuff.
I have a life. I haven't been able to play this like everyone else has.
I spent all of Saturday trying to download it on my mobile internet because I was away. Now, the game is like 28 gigabytes, and it took forever.
Wow, that is pretty decent sized, actually, for a Nintendo Switch 2 version, actually. Because the PC version...
That it is a game key card, because aren't they 32, the cartridges?
I thought so. The PC version is 76 gigs.
Wow.
Yeah, so Capcom have done really well to get that on a key card.
Yeah.
It makes me disappointed now that it's on a game key card.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, they could get it on it. They could get it on it. And it's like, nah, it's cheaper to do it this way. And it's like,
whatever, it's fine.
Cheaper, but you still want like 70 quid for the game. You still want €8, you know what I mean? So, come on.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
So, going into Leon's next section, the next big thing, which will be the last thing that we will be talking about. And then our like general thoughts. Because it's too soon to say final thoughts, but obviously our final thoughts for this video. Maybe we'll
of course,
beat the game discussion and then really go into it then.
That might be on the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. Tune in. We'll discuss that.
To have me on it. Let's have a go. Well,
yeah, because obviously Kylie's playing it as well. So once we all get to that end game point, I think we should do a spoiler discussion on it.
Yeah.
So that big Chungus boss is amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely gives back the feel of like Resident Evil 4. Mm-hmm. Like in some of the really tight areas that you get for boss fights.
Yes.
But there were so many stupid things that I did in that section, because I died on that boss, because of course I did. I walked around the area before triggering the cutscene before the start of it, and I looked around and I was like, I can see bullets in the wall. How do I get them? And I'm literally sitting there with my axe, like swiping at the walls, like, give me the bullets. And I could see shotgun shells, and I'm like, right, I'm going to get a shotgun in a minute. And then I had it where you go through underneath the fridge,
right,
and it pops up on your map, and I'm like, where the hell are they? I can't grab them. So I stood there for like two...
central area, and I just could not get it. I just could not get it.
I sat there for ages.
The rafters. I got one that was dotted off over to the offside. And it's like, yeah, that's fine, but I can't get this one.
I didn't know that there was an upstairs section with the ladder until the second run of it, and I went, okay. I also didn't realise that there was a bit of a square around that you could go around it, and you could just there was certain sections there where you had handgun ammo and shotgun shells. I think there was a grenade in there at some point as well,
which came a little bit too late. It's like,
it was
with the shotgun.
But yeah, after the second attempt, I took him down because I finally didn't run out of shotgun shells plowing it into him. But yeah, got there in the end.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then you just go down into the sections that Grace has already done, and so because you probably didn't kill as many things as I did.
Yeah.
You probably had more enemies, right?
Yeah, there were still enemies, There were still enemies.
Oh, there was enemies for me, but probably not nearly as many.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because the ones that I didn't kill would obviously still be there and whatnot. And then some of them I took out with the axe, or, the chef was still there.
Oh, of course the chef was still there. Apparently, the chef actually has, a key to the pantry.
Yep.
There is something in the pantry that is quite useful.
Oh, okay.
So you wouldn't have got it as well because you didn't defeat Chunk.
No.
But he drops a skull.
Yes.
And basically that skull gives you an extra hit when you're on critical damage.
Right.
So, which is a really helpful thing to keep hold of. There is a similar sort of thing in that pantry as well.
Okay.
I didn't know about that until someone told me that today.
I'm hoping when I go back into Leon, maybe I'll be able to find that. I think I've missed out on the actual talisman thing from chunk because obviously I did the second battle, not the first.
Yeah, you would have missed out on it.
But I don't know whether I'll have the chance to do the Pentry again. But if not, at least I know for a second playthrough, because I think this game warrants definitely having a second playthrough.
Oh, that is 100% what I was going to say, is this is going to warrant a second playthrough at some point, because I did the same with Resident Evil 4 like years ago on the GameCube. I did multiple playthroughs of that game because it was just so much fun to play through. So I'll just skip all the cutscene stuff, just run through. You'll have permanent upgrades that you'll probably get on New Game Plus, like you have always.
Yeah.
And I am wondering as well if one of the permanent upgrades that you get at some point is unlimited Requiem ammo for Leon.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Because imagine just running through the entire game, just blasting the hell out of everything. Oh, that'll be fun. But yeah, that section was really, really cool. But what I've been finding so far is actually the Grace sections are a lot longer than Leon's.
Yes.
I don't feel like there's enough Leon at the moment. I'm not unsatisfied. Apparently it does change from what I've heard.
Oh, okay.
But at the moment, I'm sort of like, oh, this Grace section's taken me like an hour to get through, and now I've got like a Leon section that's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh. No, it does change. So it will change later on in the game, which I'm fine with.
I think it's generally because of the pacing, because obviously the Grace sections are very, very slow, and you've got very, like you've said before, very, very methodical. And how you go about with it, and a lot more puzzle based as well. And then like Leon sections are like a brief respite where you can just like go
kill everything
and just like let it out, all that pent up tension that is just built up over the long period of playing with.
Of course, yeah.
Just being scared out your mind of everything, and it's like you get into Leon, it's like, okay, I've got a gun, I've got a shotgun, I'm going to hatchet everything to death.
Yeah, what I am looking forward to is a good long Leon section that is going to be similar to how it was with like Resident Evil 4, where you get a few puzzles in there. It's mostly action based, it's all combat based, but you still get a few decent puzzles to harken back to the old RE style. And I'll look forward to that, but I'm really enjoying the fact that they've had a completely separate character doing that angle, and having the two meshes of play styles just works really well in its favor.
Yes, because obviously, Leon is a very, very active character. If you had it like, oh, he's constantly scared of enemies coming towards him, it's sort of goes against his character kind of thing. But because you've got like these dual protagonists, where one is very, very, very emotional and very, terrified of everything, whereas for Leon, it's like, it's just another day at the office. Basically,
yeah, but the roles have kind of reversed in that respect, because Leon was once that timid and scared character from 2 when it was his first day on the job for Raccoon City Police Department.
Well, that's because everything was new to him then, whereas now it's like, well, I've been doing this for decades now.
Basically, yeah.
It's become hardened over the years.
Yeah, so the one thing that we haven't actually touched on in terms of Leon, because his story is quite pivotal in this respect, and it is quite pivotal towards the main narrative, is that it appears that he's part of this Raccoon 7 or whatever, however number there are. 6 are confirmed so far, I think, isn't it? That all the people that have died are all related to Raccoon City.
Yes.
And him and not Ashley, his handler, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, it's as well, and I've just literally
it's the Birkin daughter, I think it is. So she's the daughter of William Birkin, I think it is, who was originally from Resident Evil 2. Right. But she also has this same virus as well, which is clearly an offshoot of like the T virus.
Yeah.
So the reason why he's heavily involved in this is because he's clearly trying to find Victor for a cure to the fact that he's going to die, or he's going to be turned.
And it seems that Grace may hold the answer.
Possible, yeah. I mean, she's cropped up in his files. And I strongly suspect, so obviously this is purely speculation based on what we've seen so far, I strongly suspect that those files that her mum hid in the Wrenwood Hotel are exactly what he needs.
Yes. And that there may be, well, obviously there is going to be a lot more to Grace than we originally, are led to believe. But time will tell.
Yeah.
We will not say any more on that, but do stay tuned when we do eventually talk about it, or at least Pete and Kylie will eventually talk about it over on Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast.
What are you talking about? You'll be there for that because we want to know.
Yay!
You'll want to talk about it too. So
I will. So general thoughts as we get ready to close out. So general thoughts, Pete. What are your feelings about Resident Evil Requiem? If it wasn't already obvious enough.
I freaking love this game. This game is incredible. As a long-time fan of the Resident Evil series, it hits all those beats for both nostalgia and new gameplay variety. It harkens back to very classic memories of playing survival horror games and the action-heavy orientated versions of the games as well over the years. It's done in such a way that it's just really, really intricately done. It looks incredible. It runs incredibly, and without a doubt, it is an absolute contender for Game of the Year 2026 already. Mm-hmm. And that's without me finishing the game.
I mean, it'd have to be a really, really shoddy finale for it to, absolutely scupper any, thoughts of like, this is definitely a GOTY contender, or if not, GOTY, because this is, I mean, if we was to say like the last couple of years, like so 2025 and 2026, because obviously we're only in like March now as of recording this video, so we haven't really had much games this year for 2026, but this is definitely, the last 12 months, probably one of the best games that I have played.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, with exception to me for a couple of games like Clair Obscur, but I think this feels definitely a different kind of niche. Clair Obscur is, turn-based RPG, a home to like all other JRPGs, like an incredibly rich and detailed narrative and world. But this is, pure action, pure survival, pure horror. It's a completely different game, but it just hits all the same beats that game did as well. It's good gameplay, good story, good acting, and great dialogue and all that sort of stuff. The things that you want to make a really complete package for the money that you're spending on it.
Yes. Oh yes. And
I mean the money let me rephrase that. The money I spent on this, the money that Capcom decided to spend on giving you a code for this.
Funnily enough, it was Nintendo UK that provided us with the code.
Semantics.
I mean, no. Well, I say semantics because I don't think we've ever gotten a code from Capcom at all.
No, but they would have been distributed by. They would have given the codes to Nintendo to distribute on their behalf. But the fact that they've gone so heavily with providing codes specifically for Nintendo Switch 2 version is quite telling.
Oh, yes. They're
clearly very confident about what the game was like on the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise it'd just be no, let's not do it. And there have been occasions where you've had some games. I'm not going to say publishers or what particular games in particular, but there are some publishers. But even for the big like websites, the big news sites like IGN, Eurogamer, and all that, the big pit. Big press, where even they have been given the game on day one or on launch because the publisher in question was not optimistic about their game.
I might have a think about the particular publisher or developer or who that might be. Yeah. I can't think. Could it have possibly been a game that might have launched? Put a pin in that one.
Find out
tell you
more
what,
over at Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast.
Yeah, where we won't get cancelled. Or might.
I'm not worried about getting cancelled. I'm worried about getting demonetised.
I know, that's why I wasn't going to carry on further with it.
But, yeah, so, I mean, there are some companies that are just like, okay, well, we've got to get out review codes anyway for games, but it's like, okay, but don't publish it until the embargo lifts on launch day at, 4 p.m. And it's like, well, we probably would have already bought the game by then, which is...
that's not a good idea.
Not a great tactic. But anyway. I won't say which companies do that.
No, it's a tactic that's been used.
A lot of them are very, very on the ball with it and that.
There have been some that have done that tactic before because it's clearly not very confident about the game, but that's neither here or there. That's up to them.
Exactly.
Make better games if that was the case. Anyway, I said that. My closing thought is that I really hope that I get done with this in the next 2 weeks. Because, oh boy, in 2 weeks' time, another big game comes out that I have got earmarked possibly as a Game of the Year contender. So I don't. That would be the game called Crimson Desert.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it comes out in a couple of weeks. I need to finish Resident Evil before then because I don't think I can play both of them at the same time.
I don't think Resident Evil Requiem is a particularly long game in regards to others, but it's just, as we are adults, it's finding the time to play these games, and especially when you are reviewing games and something else comes along as well.
Unfortunately so, yeah.
If casual, well, not casual, but if your average gamer who's got a huge backlog, just imagine what it's like for us who are press and content creators that are constantly got games on the go that we're trying to play through, and it's non-stop.
I've still got games in my backlog that I bought from Christmas, and they're probably years old at this point, but it doesn't matter. I'll never get to them.
Maybe when we retire.
What are you talking about? I'll barely be able to hold a controller at that point.
But anyway, thank you, Pete, very much for coming along. My final thoughts basically resonate with Pete's. This is definitely, a tip. For me, it is a very, very Game of the Year contender, absolutely, for 2026. I'm actually quite surprised with how much I am enjoying the game because, like I said, I've not played many Resident Evil games, especially not the last ones. I mean, obviously, a lot of that is due to being a Switch gamer, and obviously when Village and that came out on the Switch, it was cloud version, and I was just not having any of that. And on top of that, they weren't particularly great versions because there was a lot of, slowdown and lag and that because of them being cloud versions. And now they're on Switch 2. So
the Generations pack came out on the same day.
It did. And I tell you what, I have invested in Requiem, even though I didn't get didn't buy the game was given to me. I did get the digital deluxe upgrade for it.
Nice.
Mainly for the core reason of the Lady Dimitrescu outfit for Grace.
Because of course you did.
Of course I did.
I looked at that and I went,
I would admit.
I'm sure she does, but I looked at that and I went, oh, I could spend a little bit extra. Nah, I think I'm all right.
Nah.
I think I'm okay.
Hey, I'm trying to give a little bit back to the publisher for, obviously.
Fine, I already spent my 40 quid.
But anyway, it is time for us to end this video. So thank you very, very much, Pete, for joining me for this. I will let you have a couple more minutes to... do you know what I'm blanking? Plug your stuff. There we are.
That's the one, yeah. Don't worry, I won't.
It's so long since I've done an episode.
I know.
Guest. So I'm rusty.
It's fine. I'll let you off. It's fine. I won't take as long as Kylie. I'll be quick. Rapid Reviews Radio podcast is where you can hear me and Kylie talk about games and news and other feature stuff every Sunday, 7 to 7:30 p.m. on twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. Episodes go live every Monday on both Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other well-known and possibly unreputable podcast players, but we won't talk about those ones. Video, you can watch the video version on Spotify or on YouTube at the Rapid Reviews UK YouTube channel. You can also see rapidreviewsuk.com, another UK independent UK review site, much like MikeTendo64.com. We work quite well in collaboration with each other, trying to prop each other up and doing bits and bobs for each other. So always big shout out for both. So but go and check out reviews. There'll be a Resident Evil Requiem review coming from one of the team over there some point soon. But if you want to hear mine and Kylie's more in-depth thoughts, go and check out the most recent episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. You can also hear me on the Never Watchers podcast, which is a film and TV related podcast that I do with Kurt Lewin, where we talk about films that either one of us has seen and the other one hasn't. We should be back with another episode soon, but if you're into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we were back recently with our watch-alongs of that, where we covered the 2026 series of Wonder Man. So an eight episode series from Marvel. So if that's your kind of thing, go and check it out. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the like. So, and thanks again for having me to talk about Requiem.
You are very welcome, Pete. It's always a pleasure to have you on Gaming Chat anyway, and also just to generally talk with you.
Yes. Oh, I did forget to say, I also regularly contribute to MikeTendo64.com as well.
He does. And we also have a WhatsApp group where we constantly are in communication with each other as well. So.
Yeah, we do, but we've got to have words with a certain Barry at some point.
Yes, we do. Most particularly about the games that he plays. We love you, Barry, but
we're calling you out, Barry. You should come on Game and Chat to defend yourself.
I've got to have him on now to defend himself. He'll have us playing some game. Oh dear.
We won't get into it. We'll do that off air because this is already run long.
It is.
That's what she said.
But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And until next time, keep on gaming.